Hey everyone, welcome to the Seeds of Success podcast. This podcast is designed to kind of plant little nuggets of information to help you grow your business. And we hope that you take those nuggets and you water those nuggets, you nurture them, and kind of just make your business as successful as positive with this information that we give you. And as always, I have Dottie with me. Dottie, how did that sound? Did that sound like some knowledge that might help some people?
Hey, Orly. Yes, absolutely. When we started talking about this podcast a couple of years ago, our goal was, we've got all these little bitty, teeny tiny little things that keep popping up in our mind that we've all done, we've tried, we've executed in our centers, and all these little tiny little seeds. If you work with what you got, if you work with that knowledge and you start to nurture that, it's amazing what really happens. And so that's what we really hope our listeners take away from our episodes. We're all over the place, pretty much. If it goes on inside, outside of a bowling center, that is not off limits for a topic for Seeds of Success. So hang on, listeners. We got another great topic today, right, Orly?
Yeah, today's show is picture perfect. And there's kind of a lot of things that go into this one. And so I mean, for instance, picture perfect, the way I'm looking at this is, if I know you have, a new menu item that you might want to post to Facebook or even post on your menu. It's got to be picture perfect. Like in front of you, this might look like the best burger that you've ever made. But let's say you take a picture of that burger and when you post it to Facebook, it doesn't look the same as it does right in front of you. That's not good, because that's what the customers are saying before they come in. They might be like, oh, what is that? I'm not going to go in and try that thing. So you got to make sure things are picture perfect when you're posting them, when you're putting them on your menu. And maybe not just for you. Maybe let some staff look at it and be like, hey, how's this look? Because I mean, there's been plenty of times where I'm like, oh, I love this picture of myself. And let's say I show my wife and she's like, that's not the best picture of you. So you never know.
Right. And you know what? Let's just take it back a step beyond that. So I have visited many centers that don't use their own images. They actually use stock images. And I'm going to throw this out there because I know most of our listeners probably already know this, but I always like to throw this out. Make sure if you are not using images from your own center, that you are not using images that require a license to use, because eventually you will get your hand slapped. So if you're going to use stock images, make sure they are purchased images and you have the ability to use those on your center website, your menus, monitor ads, so on and so forth. But to your point, Orly, when you're taking pictures of your food items, you need to be very mindful of the presentation, how you're putting the wrap on your burger or how the plate looks, right? And because that's what your customer is going to make a decision on, is how that image looks. A picture's worth 1,000 words, right?
Yeah, and there's some things that you might not even notice. For instance, I've had staff send me a photo before and like, hey, can you post this to, Instagram and Facebook? And I'm like, the burger with the trash can behind it. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're focused kind of on the burger here, but they don't realize in the back, yeah, it's off in the distance, but there's like the trash can. Like you don't want that. Nobody wants to see a trash can in the same picture as their burger. So you got to make sure, your surroundings are good. Make sure, and again, that cook, and it's not that you're being mean. This cook might be like, oh, look at this dessert I made. And then they send you this picture and like, this picture doesn't look that good in the picture, or you don't want, or even that it doesn't look good, you don't want it to look totally different when somebody actually comes in. How many times, I'm sure you've happened to you, Dottie, where you go to a restaurant, you're like, oh, I'm going to get the burger where they posted the picture, because sometimes there's a few pictures, and then that burger or something comes and you're like, this looks nothing like the burger that's on the photo.
Right. The other thing that I like is you can go to Amazon and you can buy the little boxes, the photography boxes, and you can put and they're very inexpensive, under $50. So shop around on Amazon, but to buy a box and you could actually put your images in there, and it provides the green screen behind them. And then what you can do is you can find a really nice professional licensed background that you can use to present that image, and you can keep some standardization with that as well. So remember that when you're doing that. And cell phones now, the quality of images taken from a lot of the smartphones now are superb. So it's not like you need to go out and buy a digital camera dedicated to just taking pictures of your center or your food or whatever. Your cell phone works just great. Just make sure that you are presenting that item right. And, like I said, use a photography box so that you can, have it on a transparent background, and then you can lay it on top of anything. But the same thing also goes for your center images, like your bowling lanes and, anything that you're taking pictures of, your birthday parties. I do want to mention again, I'm here making sure that I'm warning everybody of things to be on the alert. If you are using your own images from your center, make sure that if you have people in those images, that you are getting permission to use their photo. If you can avoid people, that's great sometimes, but you do want your images to have people in there. You do have business. So just mention when you're using those items that you are going to be putting it on your website, or you're going to be using it for social media, and just, ask if they can approve that you use it for that purpose. And if they don't, then just make sure that you are not including them. So anyway, those the images of your own center are so valuable, and even little videos that you can post of when birthday parties are going on and the fun that kids are having on the lanes. It's nothing to look down, right, Orly, and see kids jumping up and down and having such a good time when they're at a birthday party.
Yeah, and actually real kids, not like models. You're like, I've seen that kid in another ad before.
Exactly. And it is a disappointing thing when you walk into a center and you've seen their website, and it's nice and bright and it's colorful and you're attracted to that, right? But then when you go in, it's a completely different look. Not that the look is necessarily bad, it's just that's not what they expected. And so there's
Yeah.
that immediate factor, and that's not how we want the experience to start, right?
Yeah, and I think even also just updating your photos. Let's say you take a photo of your arcade 10 years ago, you have all these games in there, and then somebody walks in and they don't see some of these games, like, oh, I saw on your website you guys have this, this, and this, and they're kind of like, oh no, that was some old photos. Now this is what we have, or you want to update it, and that could be a good thing too. Not that you took something away. You might have new things that people are like, oh wow, I didn't know you had this in your center. Oh yeah, we just haven't took a photo of it yet. So yeah, make sure you're updating those photos. Make sure they're up to date. Make sure you're getting good angles of things that you could actually see. And yeah, let the people know and what you have. And nowadays with social media, that's free. It's free advertisement. Every once in a while, if you do something new in your bar area, your restaurant area, post it, brag about it. We've talked about another show. Hey guys, look at the new tables we've got in our center. And post some new pictures so they see that and go, oh wow, we haven't been there in a long time, but it looks nicer than it did it in the past. Or maybe somebody had a bad experience. We used to go in there and there was no tables to sit down, but they now see you have tables to sit down. They're going to come in. They're going to be, oh wow, they have a lot more seating area. Let's go check it out again.
Yeah, that's a great point. And, back to the food deal, Orly, I want to mention, I highly encourage people to take pictures, stage, make sure your presentation is nice, stage your picture. Those pictures also are great for training purposes. And I know we've mentioned this on a seat before, but if you don't have a guide for your new employees, for them to look and see what each of the items are supposed to look at and how they're supposed to be presented before they go to the customer, you need to consider that. And if you get in the habit of taking and creating your own photography for your website and your social media, those same images can be used to create that pictorial guide of how food should look before it goes to the customer.
Yeah.
So it has a dual purpose as well. So
yeah, I agree, and that could honestly be probably a whole another show. But yeah, you want to make sure everybody's on the same page too when it comes to inside the kitchen. You don't want somebody to be like, hey, Robert puts the lettuce and tomato onions on this left side, but Jason puts the lettuce and tomatoes on the burger. You want to make sure everybody's the same, and it's the same as the picture that you're posting up there and the people are seeing on the menu.
That's right. And it also helps, once you get that nice picture and, you can put a description under it of exactly what it is supposed to include, because you're right. nothing under the sun is worse than, a customer getting something from one employee that is this way and they like it that way, and then they're getting from another employee the other way, and the way they don't like it is the way it's actually supposed to be, and the person over here is not doing it right, and then you get it's not a good situation. So everybody needs to be doing it the same way, and these pictures really help to be able to standardize things and make sure that the customers are getting the same from every single person every single time.
Yeah, I agree.
So
Yeah,
really good information. Really good information.
Yeah, and I think this is, just look at it. I mean, maybe this is just me, but look at it the way of, just don't take a picture and be like, yeah, let's throw this up on the website. Think of taking a photo of yourself. I know you, Dottie, you're the same as me. We take a selfie every once in a while when we're in town together, and we're like, oh no, not that one. Let's retake it. No, not that one. Let's retake it. Make sure it's picture perfect.
Yep, that's exactly right. So, and like you said earlier, Orly, it's great to get your employees involved. And you even have an employee on staff that loves doing stuff like this. Put them in charge of your photography. Say, hey, this is, one of your new roles here. You're going to be responsible for capturing, and they can just capture random things, and you kind of build up this library of things that you have that you can offer for web use and for social media and stuff like that. So definitely encourage that. Again, the more you can get your employees involved in that journey and help them to write the story of your center, the better off you are. You're going to have happier employees. So, well, this has been a really great episode. I hope that the listeners can, pull out one or two things from this. And you grab that camera. I know for me, it's always in my back pocket. I've started creating a wardrobe that if it doesn't have back pockets, it's not going to be in my wardrobe, because my phone goes in my back pocket, because I never want to be without the ability to snap a picture. So anyway, I hope that this has been a great episode for you guys. And, we would love to hear feedback. If you have tried any of the things that you've learned on Seeds of Success, make sure to let us know. We hope that you do, but we don't know that you are benefiting from some of these seeds more so than the others. Or if you have something that you're struggling with and you would love to hear some best practices on it, definitely let Orly or myself know. We would love to cover it in an upcoming episode. So if you haven't already subscribed, find us on your favorite podcast platform and subscribe, and do us a favor and recommend that your employees take a listen as well, because these episodes are just as much for every single person in your center that helps you to make bowling amazing in your center. So please share that with your staff. So Orly, thanks for being my sidekick again today. This has been a great episode. And until next time, folks, keep making bowling amazing.